Wonderful, wonderful. Welcome, welcome everyone to our amazing BLC podcast, Breakfast of Champions call. It's always such a pleasure to hear each and every one of your voices. And it just fires me up to hear everyone calling from all over the world. And for those who are listening to this on replay on blcpodcast.com, go ahead and share these calls because this is what truly builds champions. That's why we call this the Breakfast of Champions call, available every Monday through Friday. You get to hear from a leader who's willing to pour into you in order to do what it takes internally to be that person that you need to be to grow a successful 5, 6, 7, 8-figure business. And so it's always a pleasure to be able to host this call. My name is Amelia Onyama Harper, like I mentioned, and my husband, Dana Harper, and I, we feel so honored to be on this journey alongside you because we understand, after all these years of growing this type of business that has to do with building people up. And by the way, if you don't know that success in this business comes from building others up, then I'm going to just tell you right now that's exactly what it is. So if you're feeling a little stuck, if you're feeling like maybe you're not hitting your breakthroughs, that's it. If you shift your mindset from what it is that you want or desire and shift it to what others desire and how you can sync that and truly start to believe in people, that is where the success comes in. So it is my pleasure always and my honor to be able to host this call. And I chose a topic today that, it took me a while to really get into my day-to-day build into my mind. And that's just navigating this network marketing journey with the right focus and intention and action. And so we're going to talk about the reality island versus the desire island. And this topic, I want you to pay attention, grab a pen and paper if you can, or listen to this recording again, and really, take your time to think about what I'm going to discuss here in the next 20 minutes. Okay. You see, when we start growing our business or when we decide to start, because you can have started your business, but you haven't actually started. All right. How many of you are guilty of that? You start your business, but you haven't actually started. It can be somewhat discouraging because, you are stuck on the island we call Reality Island. Reality Island can be very brutal. Reality Island is where you are right now in your current realities that are in your life. What is true? Maybe the truth is you only make, $2,000 a month or less than that, depending on where you are in the world. You only make below minimum wage, right? Reality Island is that you cannot afford to give your children or your family the things that you really desire. Reality Island is that you might be in debt, way over, more month at the end of the money. Reality Island is very brutal. And all you want is to hop on all the things that you desire. So on this call, I'm going to help you focus on one strategy at a time before you move on from Reality Island to Desire Island. Now, it can be very, very tempting to want to hop because it's very unpleasant where you are. But this strategy is so important so that you can have curated, focused intent, in following through on all your dreams and things that you want. So helping you to be conscious of what you're doing, what you're putting your energies towards. So we all start on Reality Island, which is where we are right now, our current results, our skills, our challenges. But all we dream of is Desire Island. We want what? A few things, very small things, but that's all we want. We want time freedom. We want financial success. We want impact, and you want recognition. So the only thing that gets you from one to the other is focused strategic action. How many of you would like to learn what 7-figure earners, what 5, 6, 7-figure earners learn to do that helps them to take strategic action in order to be able to get from Reality Island to Desire Island? If you're ready, write down, I'm ready. Here is a quote from Stephen Covey. He says, you can't build $1 million dream with a minimum wage mindset. You can't build $1 million dream with a minimum wage mindset. So today I'm going to talk about how to cross the bridge between reality and desire without this very key thing, which happens to a lot of people that we see in this business, which is they get lost. You feel lost. You're distracted. Sometimes you don't know it, right? You're unconsciously incompetent. You don't know that you are distracted. And then the one that's very debilitating is discouragement. Discouragement can stop you from everything you've ever desired. So how would you like a little tonic to get over all of this, right? Nobody wants the bad feelings. So strategy number one is something that I've already tipped in the beginning of this call. Don't build all the bridges. This is a common mistake when you're so eager to hop islands, right? But in order to truly see everything that you desire out of this business, you have to learn and discipline yourself to focus on one strategy long enough to win. It's so important. And these strategies, can take just curated effort. And what's nice is they're repetitive and you can put your all in and you can get the results. See, bridge building takes time. Building that bridge from reality to desire takes time. There's no shortcuts to success, right? I watched a video this morning. My mom actually sent it. My little personal development coach that I have, thank God for her. She sent a video this morning, about a lazy man. A lazy man that was given everything in order to have the wealth that he actually desired, but he didn't take the right actions, even though it was simply being handed to him, right? There are no shortcuts to success. You have to actually be in it. So bridge building takes time. You can't jump on every single new script, new tool, new social media strategy and think you're going to get results. You've got to pick something and stick to it. You see, success comes when you commit to a method, a message, and a system for at least 3 to 6 months. Concentrated, curated effort on one thing. Okay? And I know it's hard, and I'm not talking about IPs. I'm talking about just focusing on a build and sticking to it. So here's an action tip that you can write down. It's something that you can meditate upon. And that is choose your primary strategy, right? For example, live events, social media, referral, whatever it is, go all in that strategy. But make sure you pick the one that's going to yield the best results for your time. Okay. One thing I see a lot of people is they want to hop to the next thing. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go set up a banner at the market and then I'm going to go do that. And then they burn out. A common problem in this industry and what holds people back or makes people discouraged is they burn out. That's why most of the time when you get started in this business, those who have been in and have made 7 figures, 8 figures, they will tell you the strategy that works. And if they tell you the strategy that works and you deviate from that plan, yes, and you're doing not one plan, most of the time you're doing like 6 or 7 things. And then you come back and say it didn't work. But were you all in with one strategy though? Ask yourself. This is a self-examination. Remember, this is about you building that bridge from reality island to desire island. Number 2 strategy is being conscious of where you're putting your energy. I was already getting to that. We're all, most of us here are busy entrepreneurs. Okay. My husband and I, as we have grown together in this industry, we've worked multiple jobs, in the past. We've owned multiple businesses. I can say personally, I've been an entrepreneur ever since I was the age, probably 14. And, I've always kept myself busy and doing. I'm a doer. In fact, I get very ill when I don't have anything going. So you're probably asking yourself, well, you just said to focus all in on one thing. Yes, I know how to put 200% in one thing, but I can be honest with you, I was scatterbrained before. What we learned through personal development, listening to calls like this and following mentors and coaches, just like you are right now, we learned from those who had the life that we wanted, that you needed to learn how to prioritize your time so that you could yield the most from your time. You only have so much energy, so much focus, and so much time. I don't care who you are. So it's so important not to spend it building half-finished bridges to multiple desire islands. How many people do you know in one conversation, they'll tell you about 10 things? And then it's like, your brain is like, oh my God, how are they doing it? Do not fool yourself. Many people will say, oh, they're just good at it. Yes, I do admit there are some people that are better at managing their time and having that kind of focus than others. But the reality is there's only so much of it. Okay. So in order to help you do the right things, you have to follow something called the hierarchy of performance. Okay. That hierarchy of performance will help you with time stealers. Okay. Energy suckers in your life. Energy suckers can be anything. Okay. It doesn't necessarily have to be a thing. It could be a person. It could be anything. It could be entertainment. It could be anything. So you prioritize income producing activities, IPAs, over busy work. There are a lot of busy work, scrolling. Oh, I'm using the social media strategy, but you just spent 4 hours scrolling. You didn't do one single post. You didn't schedule a post. You didn't, those memes and reels are so funny. They can suck you in. Remember, energy sucking. By the time you're done watching all that stuff, it's time to go to bed, or it's time to make dinner for the kids, or it's time to, you know, do something else that's also important in your life. So you have to really give yourself the discipline of taking the necessary actions, being busy doing the right things over busy work. Okay. So know your top 3 daily non-negotiables that are part of your business build. Okay. Remember, we're getting from reality to desire now, right? What are your lead? What is your top 3 non-negotiable? One is your lead generation strategy, like inviting, using your social media. People don't know what they don't know until they know. The end. 2, follow up. People won't know until, you talk to them and figure out where they are in their life, and you are able to make the proper connections to the things that they desire and what they need. How can you fill their need? You got to follow up to find that out. And number 3 is team building, team connection, building people that build businesses. Those daily non-negotiables are so important to keep moving that needle forward. All right. Here's an action tip. Look at your calendar today. Your calendar and your task, are they moving you closer to Desire Island? All the things that you've ever dreamt of. Having the time freedom, being able to travel the world and be that legit person. Like I tell my siblings, I'm like, we just want to be legit, right? So it's so important to make sure that you're taking curated action, and using your time properly. So audit your calendar and the things that you're doing every single day. Are they moving you closer? Last strategy today to help build your bridge. Now we're about what? 75% into building our bridge to Desire Island, is building your business on the numbers. Let intuition and numbers guide your build. You see, smart, successful entrepreneurs balance emotional business building with data-driven business building. Okay? Let me say that again. Smart, successful entrepreneurs in this business, build your business, they balance emotional business building with data-driven business building. Okay? Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in, we're dealing with people. There's going to be a lot of stuff. There's going to be who said what and how he did it, and he lacks integrity. She, she's doing this. There's a lot of stuff. But you have to learn how to sift through all of those things. Okay. Remember, you want to keep as much of your energy as possible. Protect yourself, protect your build, protect your bridge so that nothing chips away at it. and breaks it down. Because as you can see, it takes intentional effort to get yourself to where you need to be. So use intuition, right? Use intuition to stay connected to your why, that desire, and then also the people that you're serving. We are in a servant-led business. We're serving people. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. The recognition is great. Our mentor told us, don't drink the Kool-Aid. This is all great and dandy, but don't forget, it is all the people that you're serving that is getting each and every person to where they need to be, including yourself. So use the numbers to evaluate your performance, right? What are the calls that are made to make connections? What are the, follow-up calls that are made, the, messages, voice notes that are sent, conversions? How many invited to a presentation is leading to a sign up and enrollment? These are the skeleton of our business build. Let's not get it weird, okay? Let's not get sucked into useless time-sucking things. And then team growth, right? Team growth is important. Volume, you're obsessed with that. Our business grows when it grows. The end. The business grows when it grows. That's it. If the business is not growing, you reevaluate your strategy and you figure out what next you need to do, whatever campaign you need to run, whatever will get people excited again, how you attract others to your vision, your dream, so you can all build bridges together into a desired island. So here's an action tip is set measurable goals weekly and review your results based on the numbers. Let it guide you, your numbers in your business, and review your results honestly. You don't have to be big and bad for anyone. We can be honest with each other. If our volume was low the last week, it's low. It means, hey, I just got to do a little bit of this. I know for every 10, I get 2. I know for every 20, I get 4. So I just need to add the numbers up. Adjust as needed. But here is the important thing. Don't pivot too early, right? Follow through on your 3 to 6 month strategy. Just follow through on that, right? Don't switch, right? Too early. If you figure out what works, those who are already there will tell you exactly what it is. You take that mentorship, you stick to it, and you follow through. Now, your lack of skill and experience might mean you might need to double up where others who have done it a little bit more, maybe their ratio is better than yours, but if you keep at it, right? Jim Rohn said, you just keep at it, you keep at the numbers, you're going to be just there as well. Okay? Where it took them 10, it might take you 20, but the results are the same. Now, the goal is you just want to get to Desire Island. So here's a conclusion. You see, Reality Island right now probably feels really tough, but it's your starting point. It's not your destination. Do not despair. Desire Island is 100% possible. Trust me, I know. Before you know it, you're being announced as a 7-figure earner. You have all of these 6, 7-figure earners, 8-figure earners that are saying thank you for leading the way, for never giving up. And the only reason why they're saying thank you to you, and that person, that future you, is because you cleared the bridge. You built that bridge, you cleared it up, you focused your energy, and you were disciplined to stay the course and continue to add and add and add to get you to where you are. So I want to ask you a very, very important question right now. What bridge are you currently building? Right? What bridge? Ask yourself, what bridge am I building right now? Am I truly committed to finishing it? Or am I, filleting myself into 8, 10 different things, places? Am I putting my energy into things that actually move me forward? How can I actually measure my progress to know I'm getting closer to my goals? So stop hopping between islands, okay? Don't cut or interrupt the progress. Build your bridge with faith, with focus, and follow through. And your Desire Island will soon become your new reality. So I hope you found inspiration from this call. I hope it gives you something to work on, because again, if we're not growing, that means we're dying. Okay. And we want to make sure that we're growing each and every single day. Nobody has 100% growth. Isn't that amazing? So we get to continue to influence each other positively, learn from those who have been there, and then we pass it along. Who knows? Next time, someone might be listening to you on the same podcast. My name is Amelia Onyama Harper. Please stay tuned and join all the other leaders that are hopping on here and sharing incredible topics with you to help grow you, grow your mindset skills, and help you build your team successfully with all of these multi-million-dollar strategies that we share here on this BOC podcast. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you on the next podcast call. Thank you.